Welcome to today's conversation around clarity in feedback. As you know, I'm Kelly Hearn, the owner and operator of Kelly Hearn and Transitional Leadership. Make sure that if you like what you are seeing and learning here today, that you like, share, subscribe, all the things, write a review. It really helps get the word out and share this with even more people. Also, go over to kellyhearn.com and check out all the ways that we can work together. All right, so today, clarity in feedback. I have seen so many instances of people just being super vague in trying to communicate what they want or what sort of change they are hoping to see in other people, in their employees, in their team members. And I have to say, me personally, if you've done the DISC assessment, I am a very high D. So the bluntness, the clarity comes out really easily for me. And it drives me absolutely bananas anytime I hear someone not being clear in what they're actually driving at. If you've read any of the work by Brené Brown, you will know that clarity is kind. And that is the part that I think people miss so very often is they think that they want to be nice, particularly here in the Midwest, right? We want to be really nice to people. And so we don't share exactly what we're thinking or what we need or what we have to see in order to make the progress that we want to make or see the change that we need to see. And so we just water the information down until it's just nothing, until it doesn't make any sense anymore. And it's just this word salad that is useless to the person who's getting the information or the group that's getting the information. And let's be honest, most people want to do well. Most people want to make an impact and see the changes and the progress that they are putting work into. And so we can just be more clear in the feedback and give them more precise information around what we need to see. That is only going to help them be able to do that and help us to be able to measure that progress as their leaders. So, what does this look like when it's done wrong? Because I still think that there's plenty of us out there who believe that we are being clear, just very nice about it. So, what this can look like, and what I think it looks like so very often, is we know that one specific group, or maybe even one very specific person, has some sort of weakness or some opportunity area that we need to grow in, right? So, we see one thing in one person or one small group. And what do? We send a mass email out to everybody in the department or everybody on the team, reminding them of the importance of sending short emails or communicating information effectively or having all of your work completed by the end of the day. And everybody reads the email, including Susie that you really wanted to get the message across to, and goes, yeah, that sounds good. We should do that. And they don't actually know what you're trying to say because having a goal of getting your work done by the end of the day is lovely, but that doesn't tell Susie that she's not actually completing what she needs to complete within her service level agreement. Or it doesn't tell the production team that they aren't getting their Q to zero within that SLA. So, what would be better? To just go to that group or to those people, that one specific person or that very small niche group, and share what the actual concern is. And this can be done in a very, very kind way because remember, clarity is kind. And so I want you to think about it as just being in a couple of steps. So when I've worked with teams that I've been managing, or when I've worked with supervisors that I have led myself that have teams that they are responsible for, It starts out something like this. Hey, I've noticed this. I've noticed that the queue hasn't been cleared out the past 5 days. And that's a concern because our SLA is X. And so, what I really need to understand is why this is happening and how we can correct that. And then you just ask them that simple question. I noticed this. It's not achieving our goal of that. Why is this happening? And what do we need to do to fix it? And honestly, so many times, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Well, not the end of the conversation, the end of your piece of the conversation, because they can come back and say, you know what? I know, I saw that. That was a problem. And it's because we had this many people out on PTO. And so now that they're back, we should be able to get that cleared out. I've communicated with the team that that needs to be up to date and we should be good to go. Or, oh, wow, that's interesting. I didn't notice that. I'll get right on it and get you some more information. But see how that really empowers the other person to know exactly what you're talking about and exactly how they can fix it because it keeps that ball in their court, which is what you wanted in the first place, right? You didn't want to be just in the meeting to be harping on them. You wanted to have the conversation so that you could keep the ball in their court, keep them empowered, keep them doing what you need them to do. But let's say that's not quite it, right? Let's say that it doesn't go as cookie cutter as that. It's not a happy day scenario. You say, I've noticed this. It doesn't meet our goal of this. Help me understand what you're doing to correct it. Okay, it's not as easy as that where it stops there. Say they argue with you, or they say that it's good enough, or there's too many priorities, and so we can't possibly do that thing or keep it to that SLA. What would you do next? Because what can happen, especially when we want to be nice, is we can just back off. Oh, I get it. That's hard. Well, it's important. And then leave, right? And then that's the end of the conversation, but there's really no resolution. So, what you can do in that scenario is remind them of why it's important. And in lots of situations, it's going to be pointing back to the impact on the customer. So if we stick with this example with the queue, so we're telling the leader that they don't have their queue completed by the end of the day, or we're telling that individual contributor that their queue isn't cleaned out by the end of the day, and it hasn't been for the past 5 days. And we need to understand why and what they're doing to fix it. And they come back with a lot of reasons why it's just not possible. We want to remind them what the impact of not doing that is. Help them understand the reason why we do that in the first place. And then share what you need. I need this cleaned out as a priority. I need this work completed quickly. And then ask the question back to them. What can I do to support you so that you're able to get this work done on time? And here's the clincher at the end of that. You have to be ready to do it. You have to be ready to actually support them. Sometimes that really is just a sounding board. Sometimes it was just a busy time, or someone was out, or what have you, and they can work through the problem on their own. They just need to know that you have their back. And other times they're going to look to you and say, I need you to help us get to zero. I need you to actually roll up your sleeves and get in there with us so that we can do this. Or I need to get some overtime approved so that our folks can get in there and get the work done, or whatever the thing is. And if they don't know, then that is your opportunity to develop leadership in that person. Whether they're already a people leader or an individual contributor makes no difference. That is your opportunity to develop leadership in that person by posing it to them, to let them know that they own this. They can help find the solution. Have them go back and come up with some ideas on how you can support them. And then when you follow through, because you will follow through, right? That's what we talked about. You will be there to actually support in that solution. You will be developing better rapport with them. You'll be developing that track record with them. And you'll be empowering them to know that they can make decisions and see the fruits of their labor. They'll actually be able to see that now they met the goal because of the solution that they recommended or they implemented or they set in motion, right? And how huge is that? Because that's where we're really trying to get to, right? People who are able to create the solutions before they even get to us. So what are we going to do? We are going to share with complete clarity what it is that we've noticed, why we need it to be done, and give them the ball, pass them back the ball, ask them how they're going to do it. If they're not sure, remind them of the why. Share with them, again, what you need to see happen and ask them for the solution and be ready to support it when they give you one. All right, go out, implement this. You have got this. Let me know. Send me some emails, hearn.kelly@gmail.com. Let me know how this goes for you. I want to see what you're able to do with a little bit more clarity and feedback. All right, again, you can like, share, subscribe, write a review, leave a comment, share this far and wide so that other people are getting the benefit as well. And definitely go over to kellyhearn.com and figure out how we can work together. All right, have a great day.